At Subway, start your day the flavorful way by adding new guacamole to your favorite breakfast sandwich. Perfectly made with a hint of jalapeno, our guacamole turns up the flavor to your breakfast. Try it today on a hot and toasty egg white and cheese. Subway, eat fresh.
Before we get started in today's show, I want to tell you about Stamps.com, longtime sponsor of the BS Report. It's quick, it's convenient. More importantly, it's really, really easy to use. You do not have to go to the post office anymore. You can just stay home. Make your own office, your personal post office. You can avoid lines. You can avoid just standing there as somebody mails some package, some 79-year-old lady. Who needs that? Make your own mailing and shipping from your house. Stamps.com. Put in the top right of the site, BS. You'll get a deal and a scale and a whole bunch of other things. It's a great product. You can buy and print official U.S. postage using your computer and printer. Stamps.com will give you a digital scale. It will automatically calculate the exact postage for any letter, any package. They'll even help you choose the best class of mail. Wow. Why go to the post office? Just give it to the postman. Stamps.com. Check it out.
The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. The BS Report. The BS Report with Bill Simmons.
We're about to tape a podcast celebrating Boogie Nights. It is impossible to do this without terrible language and inappropriate subject matter.
Inappropriate.
It's impossible. And we're not going to bleep everything because you don't want to mangle the podcast. So here's my advice. You could stop watching this video right now. You could stop listening to the podcast right now. Those are, if you don't want to hear bad words and kind of inappropriate subject matter about the porn industry in the 70s and 80s and that kind of stuff, just stop. We're not going to take it personally. But if you keep listening, you can't get mad at us.
I recommend you keep listening.
Me too. It is PTA week on Grantland.com. Paul Thomas Anderson is PTA. Matt, what else is PTA? Parents Teacher Association?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Joe House, my longtime friend. We went to college together. Boogie Nights came out, I think, in the mid-90s, 97. We watched this movie a lot. I had an illegal cable box.
You did.
In my apartment in Charlestown, Massachusetts, that I got from a guy named Big Al. My roommate Richard got it for me.
Nice.
And we got all the pay-per-view channels, and Boogie Nights was on all the time for like 3 straight months. And I didn't have a lot going on at that point. I think I had started my website. I was doing some bartending, but I was basically home during the day. And we just watched a ton of Boogie Nights. And then it came on the HBO Cinemax circuit.
It did.
And then you got sucked in.
Yeah.
And then you would come to visit, and we'd always end up going out and whatever, and then at 2:30 in the morning, we'd put on Boogie Nights.
We would do that. You know what's funny is, in looking back and thinking about the attraction of the movie and why it was such an easy thing for us to both glom onto, think about what was going on, like how we, as young men, consumed
Media?
Media, yes. So in that era, we both lived through the time when X-rated movies were in movie theaters.
True.
Movie
Late
theaters
70s,
showed
yeah.
X-rated movies.
Yep.
And we also lived through the era when those movies became available on home video.
Yep. Tape.
And we lived through an era where the experience of X-rated movies was like a guy bonding thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, no, not a little bit. We met each other on a dorm floor at the College of the Holy Cross, where the RA showed Sunday night X-rated films after Mass.
Different times.
It was a different era, right?
Different times.
That happened. The guys on the floor all came together Sunday night after Mass. That's what it was called, and sat in the RA's suite.
Yeah.
And he put on the movies.
And one time he put on a movie that, and somebody walked by who maybe was the wrong person to walk by, and that person was forced to move off campus, the RA.
Yeah, that RA was not an RA for very long.
No, and the movie we were watching became the name of my newsletter that I did for the rest of the year.
That's true.
At Holy Cross.
You're allowed to say it doesn't have a bad word in it.
The Velvet Edge.
It was the Velvet Edge.
That became our newsletter, the Velvet Edge. Yeah, porn's had a big impact. Yeah, I think the concept of porn has changed, especially as the internet has gone.
Well,
and now it's just categories and on demand, and it's a totally different life. This was back when it was just.
I just wonder, like, if I'd be interested in talking to somebody like sort of a more recent generation who's never had any of that context. If they watch Boogie Nights, if they'd respond to it the way that we did.
It's interesting. Plus, you had a bunch of the music that we
Right.
grew up with from
Yes.
the late '70s, early
Yes.
'80s. It was one of the first 5 DVDs I ever bought.
Oh.
And it was a great DVD. It was widescreen, and this was before they made the TVs widescreen. So it was like a square TV, but the widescreen, but
All the
it
way to
sounded
the
great.
edges.
I had the surround sound, and
The
it was
director's
just
cut
awesome.
was sensational.
That was the other thing with the PTA director's cut. He's just like, I think he might have been stoned.
I would like to watch it now.
He's just
it's
a
been long
rambling
time
lunatic, but
It's so
there's
good.
real insight in some of the stuff.
It's true. We still, to this day, can't understand why a lot of the scenes that got cut. Because I think the movie, I understand from reading the unbelievable oral history yesterday,
Right.
what a battle it was to get the movie down from like 3.5 hours down to the 2.5 hours that the 155 minutes they finally ended up with.
I know. The great thing about Boogie Nights, I think, is the characters. And I think that's why the movie endures. Like, you could come up with 90 different reasons. PTA's first real genius movie.
Yeah.
Just how rewatchable it is and how funny it is. And Steve Hyden actually made this point for us on Grantland. Like, the secret with PTA that nobody ever talks about is his stuff sometimes is really, really funny.
Funny, yeah.
And this movie, I think, was his funniest movie. But ultimately, it's the characters. And to have a movie that has 25 characters that I could rattle off any of those names to you and you know who I was talking about.
And then be able to start doing the lines.
Right.
Which is hard to believe.
That's true.
We're old and we can still do the lines from that movie.
I think this movie had more lines than any movie in the last 20 years.
Well,
And we're going to go over many of them right now, but
Yeah.
let's watch. So this is a deleted scene. This movie was so good that this is from when I think the fourth Porn Awards, when Dirk just goes up and says, "Thank you." But this is the deleted scene version of that they cut for time. And I like this because you see all the different characters.
Yes.
There's Amber Waves.
Right.
She's a mother to all of us who need mothers. Your buddy Jack Horner.
The genuine
Reed?
surprise.
Yeah.
So earnest to read.
I guess in a 3-hour movie, maybe you got to make some choices.
Right.
But
Can't have everything.
so Buck's wearing
Buck.
like he's in another bad wardrobe phase. Never could figure out the wardrobe.
Is that
Buck.
pirate? Is that a pirate one?
And the one earring didn't really work for him.
Yeah.
And there's
Two of the greats.
yeah. R.I.P. By the way.
Yeah, I know.
The girl on the right, I feel like that was the one casting misfire.
That's interesting.
Never totally liked her.
She's not in our top 20 list?
She didn't make it.
Oh, interesting.
She did not make it. Now this was a great casting decision. Both of this.
Both of
America's
them.
favorite couple.
Because Nina Hartley was truly just sensational.
And in the oral
For the role.
history, not shy about walking around the set naked, apparently. There's the Colonel. You'll be hearing from the Colonel later.
Yeah.
And there's Kurt and the other guy. I forget what the other guy's name is.
I don't remember either.
Love both of them. So then Dirk goes up. Good music, by the way.
This is the other, part of this experience.
Oh, roller girl.
Wow. Talk about good casting.
Thank you.
I think they should have left that scene in. It hit every character. It was like
it
an
hit every
amalgam of
character.
everything you liked about each one. All right.
The finish was right.
So we're going to count through the top 20.
Let's.
I did the same thing I do with Jalen, where I do the rankings and then pretend we both came up with them, and then you're probably going to get mad a couple times.
I can't
Jalen
wait.
hates this. Although, now Jalen has a new move where he does the rankings with me and then distances himself from the rankings.
Oh,
whenever we do
good.
them. Yeah, so that's his new thing.
All right.
All right, so our top 20 characters.
Yeah.
Our. Notice how I said our?
It's fine.
Number 20. Here's Buck. So, question about the donut shop. How much money could this donut shop have had that enabled Buck to launch a stereo business? It's a donut shop. How much money was in the bag?
Not enough.
Do donut shops have $50,000 and I missed it?
I think it's hard to
There's
believe.
hundreds
Why
in there.
are there
Who
hundreds?
pays for donuts with 100?
I don't know, especially in the era this was set in.
Yeah.
It just stretches the believability of hair.
Did I hear someone say deal?
And that leads to this.
This weekend.
This is probably my favorite Buck scene in the movie. They hit the rap air, but the reason I rank Buck so low is Buck just makes me sad.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why?
It just never worked out for him. He could never find the right wardrobe. He ended up with a character I didn't really like.
Well, he found love.
I don't know. I just was never a fan. Would you rank him higher?
No.
Okay. Why are you arguing with me?
I didn't argue. I just didn't feel like he was that sad.
Buck was the only one, like, we never really saw him in a scene.
The criticism of Buck, if I have to criticize...
Please do.
He's kind of a caricature, right? It's not really a character that you can kind of invest in.
And what's weird is I love Don Cheadle.
He's
and I actually thought he did as well as he could have done with that part.
Sure.
And back then, the black porn actors, like, there were no black porn actor stars. They were just kind of in the background and nobody knew who they were at any point. So I think that was the point.
Uh-huh.
But unfortunately, that hurt Buck's ranking. Let's go to number 19. You're going to like this one. He's only in like 2 or 3 scenes, but Johnny Doe.
Yeah, Johnny Doe.
The guy who's kind of on Dirk's corner when Dirk's starting to fall into his cocaine binge.
Hi, I'm Johnny Doe.
Terrible actor.
You're Dirk Diggler.
But this is just bad acting.
Like he just learned English for the first time.
Sorry. Johnny, can you speak? Here's why I love him, though. Can we go back and freeze on Johnny Doe? He looks like Johnny Banana. He looks like Johnny Bananas.
Yeah! Johnny Bananas. That's
Johnny Bananas was in Boogie Nights. That's Johnny Bananas.
That's Johnny Bananas.
Johnny! That looks like him. If you put him on CT's back, we'd have a challenge episode. I like Johnny Doe. And then he comes in a little later.
He cracks the top 20. He's ahead of Don Cheadle.
He's ahead of Don Cheadle. And
Johnny Bananas.
Unfortunately, took the Jack Horner productions into kind of a dark place.
Well...
A little misogynist era of porn.
Kind of the nature of the business, I think.
All right. Number 18, the OD guy. Only because this leads to one of the Colonel's best scenes. Let's watch this one.
I think she's sick. Oh, what the fuck is this?
I didn't do anything. I didn't.
Is she breathing?
I don't know. I think maybe she did too much coke.
Oh, do you think so, Doctor? No, let's go.
All right, so, you think so, Doctor? We've gotten 18 years of counting of mileage out of?
Yes.
I think I've said it to you on 20 different podcasts.
You think so,
You think so, Doctor? And then,
Gotcha.
Oh, and then this part too.
Yeah. Got it. What the fuck is this?
This is twice in 2 days and the chick is OD'd on me.
Well, do you think this means that maybe you ought to think about getting some new shit? What do you think?
Yes, sir.
The Colonel. Great Colonel.
Great Colonel.
Great Colonel. There was a brief time where you thought about asking to be called the Colonel. I remember.
I think you wrote about it. There was a time.
Maybe I wrote about it.
Yeah,
there was some sort of Colonel phase for you.
There was.
Well, the OD guy who's never been seen again.
Never been seen again.
Rated ahead of Don Cheadle in our rankings. Congratulations to him.
It's your rankings. I would have Buck ahead of him.
You'd have him ahead of this is the second time the chick's OD'd on me.
It's one scene.
Yeah.
Buck's hi-fi scene is better than that scene. The Colonel makes that scene.
All right, well, speaking of the Colonel, number 17.
Shut up, Colonel!
Not the Colonel. Colonel's cellmate, whose face we never see. He's number 17 on my countdown.
He made it?
Yeah, he made it.
Why did the cellmate make it?
Because the Colonel had to pay for his sentence. The Colonel was a child molester.
Everybody paid for their sentence.
And as much as I love the Colonel, at the same time, he was a child molester and deserved to spend the rest of his life being beaten up by the Colonel's cellmate.
He's a pedophile.
So I had him number 17.
Yeah. There's a lot of just rewards in this movie.
Yes. Number 16. Speaking of just rewards, no, not Roller Girl.
Better not be. I know she's not 16.
Roller Girl's random classmate. Oh no.
Oh no. Now this is an acting tour de force. It's amazing that this guy didn't end up in more things. It feels like he could have gotten a 10-year career out of just this scene because he just nails it. I mean,
what do you think was the audition process? Like they had dozens of actors come in. No, I didn't really like what we did with the lollipop there. And that guy just came in and nailed it.
Yeah,
he went home. He's talked to his agent. So yeah, I did my audition.
Well,
I nailed it.
They needed a guy with the perfect tongue-cheek structure, like his face structure is perfect to mimic the blowjob. Congrats to that guy.
Congrats to him. And later on, he pays a price.
Yes, he does.
They run into him as they're filming a Gonzo video in the limo. Run into that guy, and he ends up getting curb stomped by Roller Girl.
By her roller skates.
By her roller skates.
Yeah. Because again, this movie serves up just just desserts in a lot of different places.
There's a real morality in the Boogie Nights universe.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, number 15 is Amber Waves. Good night, Amber.
She's the best. She's a wonderful mother, you know. She's a mother to all those who need love.
She's a wonderful mother. One of the great parts of the movie, he's trying to tell Dirk Amber's a wonderful mother. She hasn't seen her son in like 3 years, and she's a porn actress. She's a wonderful mother, though.
She lost custody.
She literally lost custody. It's impossible for a mother to lose custody of their child.
And yet...
She's a wonderful mother. She's a mother to all those who need love.
She is a mother to all. It's interesting, 15, huh? Is it because she's so sad?
I don't like people who are bad mothers.
She's more of a tragic
So here's the case
anything.
against Amber Waves. Terrible documentarian.
Okay.
Terrible mother.
Awful mom.
Introduced Dirk to cocaine.
Okay, sure.
If Dirk never tries cocaine, it's smooth sailing for him through the 80s. He has like a Peter North type career for 20 years.
And the movie would have never gone in that dark place. We could have had just 2 hours of the
moment
party.
she breaks out the cocaine, it's over.
The party's over.
Bad stuff starts happening. Little Bill shoots himself.
Damn it, Amber.
So that's why she's this low. In fact, I wish we could rank her lower at this point. Let's look at some of her documentary work.
Really
Documentary work.
For Dirk Diggler, the future is something to look forward to, not to fear. He is a creative man of many interests.
Yes.
Film, poetry, karate, music, and dance. He is a man of passion and mystery.
He is.
He is a man of lust.
He is all those things. It's pretty good, Amber.
I mean, pretty well written. I can't lie. It's not bad.
I don't remember him as a man of dance. I remember him as a man of all those other pursuits. I just don't remember dance.
I don't really remember him having any interest other than a tacit interest in karate.
Karate?
Karate. But we never saw him he's like, guys, can we wrap up this porn shoot early? I have a karate class at 2:00.
Well, he did. I don't know that he needed class. He had a lot of practice in front of the mirror, and that's really where we saw him at his best with the karate.
Sure. So the Amber Waves documentary was basically a flat ripoff from a John Holmes documentary called Exhausted.
Exhausted, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I think, online. I think it's on YouTube.
Yes.
And he takes shot for shot, and I would say 75% he did intentionally. 25% of me wonders if it was intentional and he just decided to rip off John Holmes' Exhausted and never knew the internet was coming.
Oh, PTA?
Yeah.
No, I think because he did the Dirk Diggler story when he was in high school.
He was 17.
Right. So
it could be an homage to Exhausted, but
sure.
Ripping off scenes is a little more. Can you rip off a porn documentary? I guess you can't.
And it was a mockumentary. It wasn't a documentary. The John Holmes thing wasn't a full-on documentary. It was more,
Well, how funny would it have been?
It was dramatic.
How funny would it have been if the director of Exhausted sued PTA for creative something?
Infringement?
Yeah.
Type of in some
you
form.
You stole scenes point blank from Exhausted. I should have won an Oscar.
I'm glad it didn't happen.
Well, I'm just disappointed he never actually did the entire 30-minute Amber Waves documentary.
There's
that
still
should have
time.
been a deleted scene.
There's
he has
still
a lot
time.
of the footage.
Sure, there's still time.
I live in this world, Amber. Violence plagues us. We're going to get to that later. Number 14. Oh. There he is in the top right. He's number 15. Firecracker guy.
Yeah.
We never knew what his name is. Look, that firecracker didn't work.
Did he have a name in this? I feel like...
was his name Cosmo? I think it was Cosmo.
Yes, it was. That's right.
That is some quality.
Oh! So in the oral history, apparently PTA just told those guys to throw that guy to throw firecrackers.
Yeah.
And the actors started, it became like they were in a war, and Wahlberg just zoned out at one point. It's just from fatigue, and that was the famous shot of him just standing there with that deer in the headlights look.
It's an amazing shot. The thing that I love from the oral history, they put in Molina's ears, some form of earplug that siphoned off
so he wouldn't be affected.
The loud bangs.
Yeah.
Because these guys can't help but react, right?
Right.
They're physically reacting because it's popping that close to them. No reaction out of Molina. It's brilliant.
Somebody, I think Hayden in his piece said he thought this was the single best extended scene in the movie. And I wanted that not to be true because it's not my favorite scene in the movie, but it's probably the best scene in the movie.
It's terrific.
It's the most creative.
And because it represents, it's the transition, right? It's the transition for the characters, for the narrative. It's the crux moment.
But also it has these little wrinkles, like the cassette like flips over. There's like 3 seconds of delay, and then it goes into freaking Jesse's Girl of all songs.
It's just it's tremendous for that reason.
Well, Cosmo the firecracker guy, congratulations.
Ahead of Buck, ahead of Amber Waves.
And actually,
I don't agree with him being ahead of either of those two. I'm just on the record.
Well, that's why I didn't involve you with the rankings.
I understand.
And actually, the drug dealer is number 13. I think this is the underrated part of the scene. The guy, he's out there with no shoes on in a bathrobe.
It's a kimono. It's not even a
kimono. And he's shooting that gun like he's like freaking, I don't even know what, like he's in a Western.
It looks like Scarface a little.
It really does.
I like it.
Drives away, and then the reaction's great. He turns around. He's like, I'm going to go back to the house. All the dead people are there. So, hey, the newspaper. Like, just totally nonplussed by the fact that everyone died in his house, and he was just shooting at a Corvette.
Yes.
Alfred Molina.
Pretty good.
I would say that was his best role, but I really enjoyed him in Species.
I hope you don't hold it against me. I don't remember him in Species.
I think he was the one that Natasha Henstridge ended up reproducing with.
I remember
She made
Natasha.
little alien babies.
I definitely remember Natasha.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Number 12. Another surprise for you. No, it's not Dirk. Dirk's not number 12.
No, he's definitely not number 12.
And, there's number 12. He's walking by.
Wow. The dad got 12. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus, please. Okay, shave if you're going to do that. Just scratch my face.
Sorry.
He looks clean-shaven to me.
What was up with Dirk's dad? I think I've spent more time thinking about Dirk's dad than my own dad. What happened to this guy?
I don't
Why
know.
was he being run roughshod by this crazy, insane woman? And first of all, he was shaved.
I know. Look at
Why didn't he care? Was it a stepdad? Was it a dad?
It's a great question. He acts like a stepdad, doesn't he?
It feels like
he behaves more like a stepdad. Yeah,
little stepdadish.
Yeah, and he treats Dirk like he's not the natural father. Think about how you treat your boy.
Yeah, maybe he's Dirk's stepdad.
I'm going to go with that. I have no idea.
Does that make his ranking higher or lower? Shave before you do that. I like when he's at the table with Dirk. He's like, "So how's it going at the party place?"
Again, the way
you like it,
the way a stepdad would ask. The only thing that I object to, how can he possibly be ahead of Buck? This is unbelievable.
These are my rankings.
I get it. It's just stunning to me.
I only rank the characters by how they achieved compared to the potential of the part.
The guy had 41 seconds in the whole movie. You think he nailed the 41 seconds?
I enjoyed those 41 seconds more than any Buck scene.
Not me. High fidelity. High
that
five.
Was good. That was good.
All right.
That was good. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
They're your rankings.
Number 11. Now we're getting to the good ones. Here's Maurice.
No argument with Maurice.
And this is his best scene.
So, I want something I can send home, Something I can send to my
The pot belly crammed into the pants is fantastic.
The tan is fantastic.
Me and all the beautiful women I've been with.
So,
how does she keep a straight face?
Jack?
Yeah, what am I asking?
She's not. She's laughing. Choking that food down to keep from laughing. It's so good.
Honey, Amber, baby, please talk to Jack.
Amber, baby, please.
Honey,
Amber, baby, please. Talk to Jack.
Talk to Jack.
I love him. And I still mourn How to Make It in America because he was great in that show.
Terrific.
I don't know if we used Luis Guzman correctly.
He has played a meaningful part in several, important movies.
He's kind of the Brandon Bass of Hollywood. I feel like Brandon Bass could have had a whole different Hollywood. Brandon Bass could have had a whole different NBA career / arc, everything, if he had just been the role player on great teams. When you're a role player, you got to also be on the right teams. He's been on a couple good teams, but
he's been on good teams.
Couple.
Yeah.
I feel like his career could have been better.
I don't know. I love him in everything he's in.
I love him in everything, too. I'm blaming his agent. I'm not blaming him.
What's he been bad in,
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his defining role? It was probably Maurice.
He was amazing in Carlito's Way.
His 20 years could have been better. I stand by it. All right, now before we get to the top 10, I wanted to mention a couple people that didn't make the cut.
Okay.
Dirk's mom.
That's amazing to me. She was such a critical and crucial character. She sets the stage for what Dirk becomes. He's running away from her. He self-defines, notwithstanding what she did to him.
I agree with that. And she was a phenomenal actress in it, too.
Yes.
I just don't like the character. She makes me unhappy. Why does she have to be so mean to Dirk? She's so mean to him. What parent could be that mean to their own child? Why does she hate him so much? I can't put her in my top 20.
The criteria for these rankings are characters based on
my own enjoyment of them.
Your ranking of how you liked them.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You finally figured it out.
We're only 10 in.
I didn't enjoy Dirk's mom.
She was awesome, though.
She was awesome. I respected the performance.
Yes.
But that scene makes me unhappy.
You physically, you don't like her.
That scene makes me unhappy.
There's more than one scene.
Dirk gets so upset, he's actually spitting. Like, you see spit. I'm so mean to me. Like, spit flying everywhere. It's just awful. I don't like seeing parents be mean to their kids. Okay. Oh, a couple more people. The OD girl didn't make it.
R.I.P.
Too gruesome.
R.I.P.
I think I just forgot to put Becky Barnett in. She should have made it.
Becky should have made it.
Becky should have made it.
Can
I clean my vagina? You want it to be clean, don't you?
That's an important line in this movie.
It's an important line, and it should have been in, and it's an oversight.
It's an oversight.
It's a mistake by me.
If Johnny Wadd's in, Becky Barnett's got to be in.
Little Bill's wife didn't make it.
Nina Hartley?
Nina Hartley didn't make it.
What are you talking about?
Nina Hartley didn't make it.
Crucial moments in this movie.
She forced Little Bill to commit a murder-suicide at the 1980 New Year's party.
She just wanted him to be a man. She just wanted him to be...
He married a porn actress. It wasn't his fault. He fell in love with the wrong woman.
It is his fault. He fell in love with the wrong woman. Whose fault is it?
Bill, please, you're embarrassing me. I liked in the oral history she said they weren't actually having sex in the bed. That wasn't true. It was... His penis was between her thighs.
It wasn't. That's an old trick.
My bad.
An old trick.
My bad. Sorry, Nina Hartley.
He wasn't taped. He didn't have himself taped to himself.
That was another good part.
It did make me try and picture what it looks like with the thighs. I couldn't figure it out.
I don't know, but she made it seem like it was old hat. Kind of felt like she was a porn actress.
I think more than one of those things are old hat with Nina.
Well, I'm sorry, she didn't make the cut either. Nobody in the donut shop made it other than Buck. I kind of like the guy, the old the Texas guy, whatever, who's kind of got the gun. I enjoyed him a little bit, but
sure.
No. Veronica Hart as the judge didn't make it.
That's okay.
Doesn't really have any lines.
No, that's fine.
As much as I wanted to support the Veronica Hart franchise,
it was a cute cameo. She's known for other things.
And then Jerome, Becky's husband.
That's okay.
He didn't make it because there's a deleted scene where he beats the hell out of Becky, and then Dirk has to go and fix her. And
that's right. We don't like that.
I don't condone domestic violence.
Not even a little bit.
Support. So
not even a little bit.
So I guess the big oversights were Becky and Little Bill's wife.
Yeah, Little Bill's wife has got to be in. If you put the Colonel's cellmate in, then Becky should probably be in. Nina Hartley should probably be in.
Number 10. This is getting really good now.
Oh yeah.
Yes. See, now we're in the wheelhouse.
So what is at least for me was a stunning experience was taking this Thomas Jane and thinking about.
Hold that thought.
Right over there. Michelle, I'll introduce you.
Sure. Introduce you to my lap.
I'll introduce you to my lap. So taking the Thomas Jane from here and then putting him where?
In Hung.
But you're the only person who liked Hung.
Oh, look.
They canceled Hung because you were the only one watching it.
There's a narrative arc there. There's an arc. From this moment, put her in my lap. To him as a gigolo. Look, this is the thing. Thomas Jane was meant to play a certain character.
It's true.
And there's a real symbiosis between what he's doing here and the Hung character, and I'll stop there.
Thomas Jane had a run in the late 90s when it seemed like he was going to become a major, major guy. A little like Chris Pratt right now.
Oh, okay.
Boogie Nights parlays that into 61.
Mm-hmm.
He was excellent as Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
He was great as Mickey Mantle.
Yep.
That's a really good movie.
Yep.
and then he did Deep Blue Sea, which didn't do well.
I don't remember Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea is a really good shark movie, and he's great in it.
All right.
And coming out of the movie, I was like, that guy's going to make it. Didn't make it. Ended up being unhung, and you were the only person who liked it.
There was 3 seasons of it.
But I like Todd Parker. Not really that great of a part.
Well, yeah.
I mean, a great part, but like, if I was like, describe Todd Parker for me, he created all the parts of Todd Parker.
He himself calls himself the Reaper in the oral history, and that's who he is. He arrives and everything.
He's the guy who used to sell a little bit of pot,
and it all goes bad.
In trouble. He borrows your car and crashes it.
Yeah.
And then it's good. It's
and also gets real sinister real fast.
It's all attitude with that part, which I liked. Some of the parts are really well written. That one is just like, put a jacket on and try to seem cooler than you are.
What's funny is it feels like a little Dazed and Confused, that character.
Totally.
I really feel like, there should have been that character in Dazed and Confused, too.
So our number 9 is Dirk Diggler, the star of the movie. I'm going to totally justify it over the next 8 picks. Here's his work as they're filming Spanish Pantalones.
Is the movement on the waterbed going to be a problem?
No, the waterbed's fine.
I dig it. It's great.
Okay, can we do this?
It's great.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, here we go.
This is going to be great. Jack. Yeah. Do you want me to use the Spanish accent?
Yes, that'd be great, because you're filming Spanish Pantalones.
Yeah.
Directed by Jack Horner.
What a great idea.
Let's watch more Dirk.
Okay.
Since he's the star of the movie.
You have him 9. The star of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the only thing I can say is I'll promise to keep rocking and rolling and making better films. It seems you make these movies.
I think he followed through.
They're considered filthy or something by some people. But I don't think that's true.
These movies can get better, Jack.
They can be better. They can help. They really can.
Roller Girl has to stand because she's wearing roller
skates. We can always
skates.
do better. I'm going to keep trying if you guys keep trying.
They're porn
Let's
actors.
keep rocking and rolling, man.
Keep rocking and rolling, man.
I'm going to keep trying if you guys can keep trying. We're all porn actors.
Look at that karate.
This is good. Oh, the bow. No, bow to the left side. There it is.
The right side. Gets all the sides.
Yeah, Dirk.
How could he be 9?
Because we have 8 better characters we're about to get to. But we should show some of his work in Brock Lander's Angels Live in My Town. Let's see that.
Sure.
Yes. One of my biggest regrets in life is that we never dressed up as these guys for Halloween. I don't know how it didn't happen.
There's still time.
I think you would have been a better Reed just because I think you would have carried off the sleeveless thing better.
The taller guy, too.
Yeah.
For sure.
The music's great, too. I like they put the credits over their face, which was a very 70s move.
Sure.
All right, so I love Dirk, but I just had 8 characters I liked a little bit more.
Okay.
That's my only reason.
It's not my list. I wouldn't have him 9.
Number 8, Little Bill and Kurt. And this is their signature scene.
Yeah, it's an important scene.
Let's see it. That's Little Bill's wife is having sex behind them on the driveway.
Because I was hoping, for the shoot tomorrow, we could send Rocky down and he could pick it up. Kurt. No, hey, gotcha. You gotta go somewhere. So, hey, what the fuck? It's only the photography of the film we're talking about.
Are you giving me shit, Kurt?
No, hey, no way, Little Bill.
My fucking wife has an ass in her cock in the driveway, Kurt. All right? I'm sorry if my thoughts are not on the photography of the film we're shooting tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, no big deal.
All right?
Sorry.
All right?
Gotcha.
His wife has an ass in her cock in the driveway.
This is the best part.
This is why Kurt jumped Dirk to number 7.
He doesn't get ahead of Dirk. He wants to go watch.
The pause, he goes to the driveway. How does that not beat Dirk? That beat anything Dirk did in the whole movie.
I disagree. Dirk sings, for Christ's sakes.
No.
He's a
I'm riding with Kurt Littlejohn.
All right,
that's his name.
It's your list.
We found out from the oral history they did multiple takes of that scene, and he accidentally said the one word before the other word.
3
times. They made him do it again.
Yeah.
Then he did it and then Paul Thomas Anderson thought it was funny to use that scene, and it was a smart choice. I fully support it.
He really does seem flustered. Thing I like.
Why wouldn't he be flustered? His wife had an ass in her cock in the driveway.
Kurt, Ricky Jay.
Ricky Jay, the magician.
And I saw him on Broadway. Like
Yeah.
it's the two. It's like it's two different people altogether. When I watched him do his performance in New York, and this is probably 15 years ago. It was after Boogie Nights, so my sort of orientation, understanding, and everything was all tied towards this character, right? He's going to come out and play this character.
He's going to come out and edit a porn
moron.
movie? Yeah.
He is an astounding magician. It was an astonishing show. What an accomplished magician he is. I couldn't have enjoyed it more.
Well, speaking of things you couldn't have enjoyed more, here's number 6. What's going on here? Oh.
Honey?
Oh, yeah.
You
That
okay?
moment with the test.
Well,
Sweetheart?
here's why we played this clip, because she was roller skating in her high school class, which I really enjoyed. I like that roller girl was always in character.
It was part of the era.
She was a method actress.
She was.
The tragedy with roller girl is there's no scene that can run with her that's okay.
That's true.
I guess there's like a dance scene we could have run, but they would have blocked the music.
That was pretty much the scene.
So, roller girl, she was so good in that movie, and all of us from our generation, we're all in our 20s.
Yeah.
We were all head over heels in love with Heather Graham.
For sure.
And it actually led to her getting the Austin Powers movie.
Oh, okay.
Remember, there was so much Heather Graham momentum coming out of Boogie Nights that she became the lead of the Austin Powers movie. Even though she hadn't really led anything. And the Austin Powers movie was a big movie.
When was Swingers preceded this?
Swingers preceded that.
Okay, that's why.
But
the innocence in this movie is what is so captivating about her. It's what makes it,
well, she had
incredible.
So she had 6 Degrees of Separation, which was when I developed a crush on her.
Yeah.
Swingers, everybody developed a crush on her.
Right.
And then Roller Girl was like,
through the roof.
All bets are off.
Through the roof.
If you did the game where it's like, you give your list of 5, I can hook up with one, I can cheat on you with one person. Heather Graham's on 100% of the list in 1997.
She was on my list.
All of us were madly in love with her.
For sure.
So why didn't she make it? I mean, she made it, but she didn't make it. Maybe she couldn't act.
Who did she end up with? She had a boyfriend. What's his?
Oh, she dated Ed Burns for a while.
No.
In real life, you're talking about?
Yeah, in real life.
Ed Burns.
No.
And then he went to Christy. She went to Christy Turlington.
She dated. God, I can picture.
So you're going to use the boyfriend excuse for her career?
I am, because it's what's his face, the guy who's notorious for dating young starlets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes, but I don't think Jimmy dated Heather.
So you think it was bad dating habits?
Bad relationship. I think it changed her career.
I don't understand.
We're going to look this up, and I'm going to remember the guy's name, and you're going to say, we're going to look at the time that she was associated with this guy, and after that, nothing worthwhile.
She should have been in a bunch of rom-coms.
That would have been great. This
would have been great.
This was the time.
This was not a rom-com.
Right after. There was a very little romance and a lot of dark comedy, but not,
So here's
not a lot
my
of
theory.
feel-good comedy.
My theory for why she couldn't be in a rom-com. I think all women are threatened by Heather Graham. There's certain actresses, and we have this too with actors.
Sure.
There's certain actors that I'm just threatened by.
Guy like Hugh Jackman?
I'm trying to think. I'm threatened by Omar Epps.
Omar Epps?
Yeah, Omar Epps.
What's he been in?
I don't like the way my wife watches Love and Basketball, like a little too quietly and
That's
intently.
20 years old now.
I don't care. I was thinking of somebody from her era.
Okay.
No, just handsome guys. Like Brad Pitt. You wouldn't want to leave your wife. You wouldn't like, hey, Brad Pitt, will you drive my drunk wife home? No.
Well,
I don't want Brad Pitt driving my wife home.
I'd be fine with Brad Pitt because he's part of that little guy
is he tiny?
Yeah, he's not. He's bigger than David Spade, but he's not,
So you'd be more afraid of like a Costner.
I'm afraid of a big guy. Yeah.
Oh, big guy.
Yeah, those are the ones I don't like.
Like Yao Ming.
Yeah, if Yao Ming, I wouldn't let my wife ride the car with Yao Ming. That's right.
But I think the reason she didn't get rom-coms is I think the studios probably did focus groups, and they're like, oh, yeah, women are threatened by Heather Graham. She's too good looking. So we're going to cast Drew Barrymore again.
It's a tough one.
Let's go to the top 5.
The
top 5 is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a murderer's row.
Yep.
You're not going to feel bad that I cut Turk out. Number 5, Floyd.
Wait a minute, Jack. I'm not a complicated man. I like cinema. In particular, I like to see people fucking on film. But I don't want to win an Oscar, and I don't want to reinvent a wheel. I like simple pleasures, like butter in my ass, lollipops in my mouth. That's just me. That's just something that I
something
enjoy.
I like.
Call me crazy, call me a pervert. But
I'm going to call you a pervert.
That I want to do in this life, and that is I want to make $1.01 in this business.
He wants to make $1.01 in this business. It's a tremendous line.
He likes butter in his ass and lollipops in his mouth.
But it's not in his...
Butter in the ass. It's like, I feel like he ad-libbed that. I don't think that line was written. I think there was more to the line and he screwed it up and PTA just left it in. But he's Philip Baker Hall's...
Unbelievable.
He was one of those guys, but now I feel like he's Philip Baker Hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think he's Philip Baker Hall.
He is, yeah.
And he's great in this, and this was actually...
Well, he's so important in all the PTA movies.
Yes.
And his Seinfeld run is amazing. And the Curb run, yes.
Yeah, we did a pod with, I did a pod with Larry David, and you were here, and we were walking him out, and he was talking about how much he loved working with Philip Baker Hall and how he was the one person who made him laugh the hardest of anyone they've ever worked with, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, crazy.
But he's awesome in this. And this was the pivotal scene because it was basically like, Jack, your generation's over. Nobody's going to be filming porn movies anymore. It's all going to be about just pumping out as many as you possibly can for as cheap as you possibly can. You got to get used to this era.
For these home videos.
Jack's like, I'm a movie maker. But what's funny, like in the oral history we did, like PTA like really cared about this theme. This was like a very important theme to him. The break between the old way of doing porn and the new way of doing porn.
Well, and it provides, like we talked about at the beginning of this, the context. We lived through this, and it was behavioral, right? The idea of people going to a movie theater to watch an X-rated movie. How crazy.
Should we tell the story about when we went to the Adonis Theater? Did you come to that?
I didn't come to that.
You weren't there for that?
I missed out on that.
They had a X-rated movie theater in Worcester, the Adonis Theater.
Right.
And we did, freshman year, did a field trip to the Adonis Theater. I can't believe you missed that. And we sat there, and we made jokes the whole movie. We thought it was the funniest thing. And then some guy sat in our row, like about 5 seats down, and pulled his pants down. And we went out of there. I was like Usain Bolt. I think I was at the end. I was like, his belt was unbuckling, and I was running 40 miles an hour. So it seemed like a really fun idea until that happened.
A fun and funny idea. But this is the thing, right? That's what was going down.
That's what was going down.
What an era.
Yeah. Error.
What an error.
Number 4. Oh, R.I.P. Scotty J.
Yeah, I like you, Scotty.
Can I kiss you?
Scotty, I don't...
Please, can I kiss you on the mouth?
No!
Please let me.
No.
Scotty.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to grab you like that or scare you or anything.
Sorry.
Do you want to kiss me or?
No,
Scotty?
I actually don't.
No?
Thank you.
What's the matter with you?
Forget it.
I'm really drunk.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
So, when they did this movie, I knew Philip Seymour Hoffman as the kid from Son and a Woman who dimed out Chris O'Donnell's character.
Wow.
I was like, oh, that guy from Son of a Woman.
Yeah.
He's good in Son of a Woman. I watched Son of a Woman like 2 months ago, and he's actually great in it, but you didn't realize it when you were watching. Like, he just seemed like kind of a dumbass, but he wasn't a dumbass. That's how he decided to play the character. Then this happened, and as it turned out, they tried to dress him like how a 14-year-old would dress.
I love that.
Not to keep bringing up the oral history, but I was fascinated by that.
Me too.
And he was like, make the clothes tighter. They should look like they don't fit.
Because it again, the oral history, it does make sense, right? He's going through this identity crisis. So he's trapped as an adolescent, and he dresses like an adolescent, and he's not in touch with his sexuality, and it comes out in this awkward way. It's really complex for what all by design seems like kind of a throwaway character.
Right. Which is one of the reasons this is my favorite movies is, what is he in, like 7 scenes?
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like Scotty J, like I know Scotty J more than somebody who like would lead a movie.
He's 4 and he belongs there.
Right. So this is the famous Dirk versus Jack, which was really the Mark Wahlberg versus Burt Reynolds, a way to kind of get at all the testosterone that was going on between them.
Sure.
lost into this is Philip Seymour Hoffman's entire performance during this fight. So we're going to roll that. So watch Philip Seymour Hoffman as Scotty J during this. Scotty J's getting nervous.
I'm not going to shoot you in the state you're in.
What do you mean state? State of California? I know where the fuck I am, Jack.
Jesus Christ, you've been up for 2 days.
No, I haven't been up for 2 days.
Nevertheless, you look like you haven't been. So I.
Burt Reynolds really getting mad here.
You know what? You don't tell me anything, okay?
Really?
You're not the boss of me.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you're the king, huh?
Yes!
Don't fucking touch me, man! No. You shut up, too. You're not the mother of me, and you're not my boss. You're not my mother. You're not my fucking mom. No. I'm ready to shoot the scene. I want to shoot the scene. I'm fine.
I want you out of here.
Look, it's over, okay? I'm done.
Listen,
I'm ready to shoot.
I want you.
Don't you fucking call me a kid.
What?
I'll fuck you up. You want to see me kick some ass? I do fucking karate. You want to fuck
Whoa.
Jake,
Get out. Come on. You are fired. You're fired. You goddamn.
No. You know what? I'm the biggest star here, man. That's the way it is. I want to fuck. It's my big dick. So everybody get ready fucking
He makes
now.
some good points.
He does. He's ready.
You know
it's
what?
his big.
Yeah, I don't need this shit. You don't. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. You're not my boss. You're not the king of me. I am the fucking king of Dirk. You're nothing without me, Jack. You're fucking nothing. Fuck
Wow.
this,
All
man. I don't
right,
need
so
that shit.
I actually think that's the best acting Mark Wahlberg's ever done in his life. I really do. And I like him as an actor, but he's amazing in that scene. And Burt Reynolds is great. And there's like this whole old school, new school generation that I always thought existed. But then when we read the oral history, it's like, oh yeah, so those guys didn't like each other.
Well, they needed to have, so that natural tension, right? I mean, this was Mark's first lead role.
Yeah.
And he's
outside looking in, the whole thing.
Right, which is part of what makes him perfect for this and why he doesn't belong at wherever you have him in this crazy list.
I had him fourth. Dirk.
Dirk. You have him at like 9 or whatever.
I had him at 9.
It's a crazy
All right, so
number.
you bump him past Kurt, Little John, and Little Bill.
I
so
would.
it should have been 7. Would you put him ahead of Roller Girl?
Kind of, yes. Although Roller Girl is so important to our lives otherwise. Not ahead of Roller Girl.
I'm not putting him ahead of Floyd either.
Not ahead of Floyd.
Likes butter in my ass and lollipops in my mouth. That's just what he likes.
Yeah, $1.00 in this business.
So yeah, all right, maybe he should have been 7. Sorry. I made these rankings in 2 minutes.
So that whole point, the point of that was watching Scotty's reaction. And he gives us a physical manifestation of the fear, the anxiety.
The weirdo-ness. Is weirdo-ness a word?
For this, yes.
That's a scene where you could watch it 8 times and just watch each actor and learn something different.
Yeah.
That does sound like a dork. Top 3. Number 3, let's hear it.
Does this character have a name?
His name is Brock Landers. His partner's name is Chest Rockwell.
They're great names.
Yeah.
So make your point about how big of a star Burt Reynolds was for our generation.
Yeah, so we experienced Burt Reynolds in the late 70s and early 80s in a whole slew of action movies, the whole franchise.
Smoking the Bandit. Longest Yard.
Right. And
bunch of weird rom-coms.
The first 10, 12, 15 times I watched this movie, the experience I had is, that's Burt Reynolds.
Right.
This is Burt Reynolds. It really enhanced my enjoyment of it because it was so radically different from anything that I experienced with Burt Reynolds running up to it.
I'm trying to think what this generation's version of that would be 20 years from now, playing this role. I don't want to say Leo.
No.
But it's somebody in that conversation.
Yeah, who would it be?
Would it be Brad Pitt?
No, because I don't feel like this Brad Pitt means...
The great thing about Burt Reynolds, and the reason I think he was the biggest star of that decade other than Clint Eastwood, was he could play like the boyfriend or the husband in some rom-com. He could play an action star, and he could play the quarterback in a sports movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know who that person is now. Who could play all 3 of those things?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody out there right now.
I don't know whether he just hit me at the right time, but I always felt like Burt Reynolds was like the most famous person on the planet when I was growing up.
Because it's not like we have a different experience with our movie stars over the last 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Like Daniel Day-Lewis is not. You could see him doing sort of anything other than sports. You wouldn't. He just necessarily.
But also, he's gone for 3 years and then comes back. Burt
Right.
was cranking out 2 movies a year. And Smokey and the Bandit for kids our age was humongous.
I mean, we like Liam Neeson's reinvention of himself, but
this was different. Yeah. And now, actually, when I watch Boogie Nights, I just think it's Jack Horner. I don't think of the Burt Reynolds.
I totally agree.
Because I've probably seen that Burt Reynolds performance more than any other Burt
By
Reynolds
now,
performance.
for sure.
I don't remember the last time I watched Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit was a movie where, I mean, how do you even describe that movie? He's driving with a truck, and it's like a movie for idiots.
Right. That's
hey, we got to go from Florida to New York.
And it's where we're
on the highway.
And we're on CBs.
Hey, any Smokies?
It's really
no, Bandit, you're clear. That was the whole movie.
It's all the movies from the 80s.
They made a sequel.
All the movies from the 80s are
made
like
a sequel.
This. Like
you got
all this way.
A cop behind you. I'll speed up.
They don't make any sense at all.
Thanks, Smokey.
Clint Eastwood has a franchise with an orangutan. I mean,
that's true. That was another one that made no sense.
sense.
He traveled around and had fights with it, but had a pet orangutan.
Yeah, he had fist fights.
The 70s.
And 80s.
I loved Burt Reynolds' performance in this movie, and the common belief seems to be that he distanced himself from the movie. He thought it was going to be a disaster.
Oh,
and
in the
had
run-up
he
to
lobbied for it properly, he would have won the Oscar that year for supporting actor.
They said that that was another observation in the oral history.
He never won an Oscar.
He deserved an Oscar for this.
Robin Williams, A Good Will Hunting.
So
that's tough.
Yes, yeah. He was.
Burt, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault,
It's not your fault. You didn't win the Oscar.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. Also nominated that time, Greg Kinnear, As Good as It Gets, Robert Forster and Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins for something.
Amistad.
Can't say I remember the Amistad.
All deserving.
Yeah. So, too bad.
Yeah.
Bad timing for Burt.
Bad
you weren't
timing.
beating Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting.
No, he was definitely not.
Number 2.
Amber, I live in this world. I don't like violence any more than you do. Violence is a bad thing.
It is.
But when you see violence in films, it's, if movies, films caused violence, we'd be able to wipe out violence tomorrow. Boom, no more films. That's fine with me. I'll find something else to do. I'll fuck in my own time.
He'll fuck in his own time.
He could fuck in his own time.
He's a magician.
And, hopefully I like, that'll be something that I focus on in the future because he can't fuck forever. I realize.
Right.
Good point. Very self-aware.
Is something that plagues us as a society.
It does. Violence is something that plagues us.
Violence does plague us.
As a society.
Reed made some excellent points.
He did.
I loved Reed Rothschild.
You have him at number 2. You have him ahead of Dirk.
I loved Reed Rothschild.
He's very
Name
likable.
one moment of Reed Rothschild in this movie that you didn't enjoy. He batted 1,000. He was in 9 scenes, and he hit 9 out of the park. He was 9 for 9 with 9 home runs.
What I like so much about Reed, what makes him so endearing to me, is how welcoming he is of Dirk.
Yeah, not threatened.
Not even a little bit.
Just try to work with him.
Honestly, it's what I hope for out of my son. Could my son have that trait where he meets somebody who's a newcomer to a situation?
Right.
He's already the established guy. Can he be that gracious?
Yeah.
And it's such an earnest and open spirit, a wonderful spirit, Reed Rothschild.
I loved him, and I found out that he didn't really achieve everything I wanted him to achieve after Boogie Nights.
He's been in a ton of stuff.
Been in a ton of stuff. Not against it, but
what did you want for him?
Well, yeah, he was in some bad movies, and he had some bad roles. Like he was the catcher in For Love of the Game.
Keep getting them checks.
Well, he did. That's what he did. He started
That's the name
cashing
of the
checks.
game.
And apparently he was not a great athlete, and they had to cheat a lot of the For Love of the Game scenes.
So that's interesting, because I also feel like he's not very good at sex. His scenes in here
seems too uncoordinated.
A little awkward. It doesn't seem like he's very good at it.
Well, fortunately, I hope we never find out. Yeah, I think Step Brothers was my favorite John C. Reilly.
He's terrific. I saw John C. Reilly on Broadway with Philip Seymour Hoffman. There was a play. I'm too old to remember names. It was amazing. They were brothers.
You know what else hurt him? Kind of the weak link in Magnolia, that character.
That's the character, though.
I know, but there's a lot of screen time for a weak link.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
I didn't love John C. Reilly.
Sure.
I know they were going against the Reed Rothschild grain, but I think in terms of Second Bananas, one of my favorites. In fact, in 2001 or 2002, I did a mailbag, and somebody asked me who was a better Second Banana, Tubbs from Miami Vice or Reed Rothschild, and I broke it down for like 900 words.
Who won?
Tubbs.
Yeah, I think my answer would be Tubbs also.
Tubbs won.
Yeah.
Tubbs took his shirt off in a strip joint and danced.
He did do that.
For no reason. And he could also he drove the car. I mean, he had a Jamaican accent. He brought a lot of stuff to the table, Tubbs. Yeah. So anyway, but Reed was in the conversation.
It was a legitimate, you needed to break it down.
He was the Scottie Pippen to Dirk's MJ.
Sure.
He's really what he was.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the Scottie Pippen. You got to accept your role. You can't not want to be the MJ. I also like that he left the porn business when Dirk did. Could have come back the next day, didn't.
Nope, that was, didn't.
It
was his brother.
Went down the weird cocaine road
and the music career.
So here's another reason Dirk's ranked ahead of
Reed's ahead of Dirk. Okay.
Drug dealer scene, firecracker scene.
Yeah.
That guy shoots Todd. Now he's turning his gun on Reed or Dirk.
Yeah.
Who do you want to survive?
Reed.
Me too. That's why he's ahead of Dirk. See? You came around. You want Dirk to die, and you want Reed to live, and that's why he's ranked number 2.
I didn't want Dirk to die.
But you would, if you had to choose, you would have chosen Reed to survive.
Reed.
You loved Reed.
Reed didn't deserve to die.
Reed was 9 for 9 with 9 homers.
Okay.
And 18 RBI.
Okay. I'll let him stay at 2.
He was like Pablo Sandoval in the last 3 World Series multiplied by 90.
Yeah.
All right, now our number 1. Oh, wait, we got one more Reed scene.
Yeah, let's have another Reed scene.
Can we see Reed's reaction? They have, on one of the deleted scenes, they just have the unedited 4-minute shot of Reed in the booth
dancing,
doing that, and it's unbelievable. There's a DVD, I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but I know it came out late 90s, early 2000 range, and it's got the deleted scene with the extended video. It's got the Becky Barnett's husband.
Oh.
It's got Reed. It's got all this stuff. It's.
Do you have it?
I do. I have every Boogie Nights DVD or Blu-ray that's come out, including one in Canada.
What's different about the Canadian
I'm an
one?
only child. This is what only children do. We do things like buy 3 different Boogie Nights DVDs.
All right.
That's what we do.
Okay, Reed's 2. I'm happy with it.
Number 1. I mean, you knew this was going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll talk about the moral implications of it after, but this is the greatest scene in the movie and possibly of my entire life.
You see, Eddie, the Colonel here, he puts up all the money for our films. It's an important part of the process.
It sure is.
It is.
Now I'm looking forward to seeing you in action. Jack says you got a great big cock.
Well, I don't know. I guess so.
May I see it?
Really?
It's like he's asking to see Dirk's car.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Well, thank you, Eddie.
No problem.
Thanks, Eddie.
Look at this. He just keeps the camera on him. He's a deer in the headlights. It's like Eli Manning after his 3rd interception. He's like, look at him. He's like, what just happened? Look at that. Look at that look.
The expression.
That's the same look Jay Cutler has all the time.
The way that he conveys his amazement at what he's seeing by slightly shifting his forehead.
He should have been nominated over freaking Anthony Hopkins and Amistad. Give me that.
You like that performance?
The Colonel, Robert Ridgely.
You think he would have given Robin Williams a run?
He was unbelievable as the Colonel. He really only had like 4 scenes.
Yeah,
But he went 4 for 4 with 4 grand slams.
4 grand slams, you say?
But unfortunately, moral implications to the Colonel. It's tough because he's my favorite character in the movie, and yet he's probably the most morally reprehensible.
Yes.
But here's how I disassociate myself from the Colonel's behavior which we don't see in the movie from this.
Yeah.
For me, it's the actor.
Sure.
It's the actor just murdering a performance and making me love somebody who turns out to be a pedophile. And I watch this movie every time, and I don't hold out the future pedophile revelation against him.
And what's funny is they give you every indication that he is morally reprehensible, and then he gets his ass kicked in jail, and
Gets what he deserves.
We have the just dessert moment, but I like it. I like the way that you've hived it off.
The dissociation.
The disassociation. Yeah. It makes sense. The performance.
Here's the other reason I love him.
Slams.
So when PTA did the original movie when he was 17, the Dirk Diggler story, which is amazingly on YouTube.
Yes.
He is Jack Horner.
I haven't seen.
Yeah, he's Jack Horner.
Wow.
So, and he was a friend of his dad's, and his dad was like the premier voice guy from the ABC. He was the one who's like,
I remember that.
Yeah, me and Corolla did a whole thing about that once.
Oh, that's funny.
But so they were buddies, and he played Jack Horner in that, and then in this he played the Colonel.
So he essentially had a 10-year run-up. He had 10 years to prepare for the role of a lifetime.
I'm trying to think what else we left out. We love Boogie Nights. It's not even the 20-year anniversary yet.
But it's PTA week, so.
Oh, here's my last question for you. I was thinking about the all-time greatest rewatchable cable movies since we got a lot of channels. So we started to get more channels probably mid-90s.
Yeah, okay.
That's the first time I felt like I was like, wow, I have a lot of channels. And then AMC comes and HBO start multiplying. And during that time, there's only been a couple movies that just seem to always be on.
All right.
And they must be on for a reason. They must be able to measure this and be like, every time we put The Godfather on AMC, it gets this rating.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that on. So the short list for me are all movies I really like.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm biased here or if that's really the list, but it seems like Godfather,
sure,
Boogie Nights, and Shawshank are the three dramas that are on more than every other movie.
Well,
but I might be biased, and I might just notice that and think those are the three movies.
I feel like I haven't seen Boogie Nights appear in circulation.
It disappeared like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it came back. IFC was showing it.
Shawshank and Godfather are still
never ends.
You can click in.
And Rocky,
get it.
Weirdly, the Rocky marathons are still going. I mean, the first Rocky now, it feels like it came out in the 1800s. It's so fucking slow.
Like 40 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah. And Rocky too, she's in a coma and you're literally in a coma watching it. It's like a 15-minute coma scene. It's like she's like, he's reading to her. It's like, cut this.
Those are movies that could have used some editing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, Stallone should go back and edit them now.
Re-release them.
But Shawshank's kind of Thomas. I think Pulp Fiction is up there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Pulp Fiction has that whole stretch though with Bruce Willis when he goes home with his girlfriend. The movie dies for like 15 minutes.
It's just a small segment though. It picks back up.
It's longer than you think.
It's a long movie, but that's what makes it rewatchable. You come in wherever you come in.
That's true.
You go through your piece. It's excellent that way.
And that's the thing about this movie and Godfather and like these movies where you can jump in at any point.
Yeah.
And you can either just watch 20 minutes or come in. It doesn't matter when you came in. You're just in from that point on.
I always hope when I'm coming into Boogie Nights that I'm not coming in on the part where in the truck scene. That's the scene I like.
Which one?
Where he's in the pickup truck and that's the scene I hope.
That guy didn't. Apologies to that guy. He didn't make the cut either.
He didn't. I don't want him to make the cut.
The guy who paid Dirk, to show it to him
and then beat him.
Yeah,
I didn't like
that guy.
Me either.
Yeah, you're right. There's a point in Boogie Nights where if you're like, not sure I want to come in 1982.
Yeah, there's. I don't
know if I want to relive the donut shop, roller girl, Dirk Church montage.
Yes,
but the part from like, I'm gonna say the 15-minute mark, as soon as he shows up at Jack's house for the pool party.
Yes.
All the way through to the 80s.
The pool party is.
That's one of my favorite 1-hour runs of any movie.
Sure, it's for us, it will always resonate. We'll always have it. We've experienced it 100 times, 200 times.
And also, it has this whole added relevance now because that guy became one of the most important filmmakers.
Well, and every one of these...
And all these people kind of took off.
Yeah,
I mean, Wahlberg...
This ensemble.
Wahlberg's had one of the 5 best careers of anyone in the last 18 years, I would say. Just for variety of movies, success of the movies.
Maybe he'll be a guy that reinvents. You know, we were trying to come up with a name of somebody that's had a lot of sort of, you know.
You think he could be Jack Horner?
But he's not going to end up.
He was never as famous as Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, and he's not going to end up having sort of a fall off the.
Clooney.
That's interesting.
Clooney is Jack Horner.
That's interesting. He would be a great Jack Horner. But the thing that made Burt Reynolds so amazing there, we hadn't seen anything from him for what it felt like 10 years.
Oh yeah,
I think he been
was like
in things, but
wasn't he on like Evening Shade?
Yeah, right. With what's her face, Delta Burke, right?
They were auctioning off Burt Reynolds' stuff. He's like everything. I guess he ran out of money somehow, which is amazing. But the Smokey and the Bandit car was on there.
Oh wow!
A lot of his awards, stuff like that. But one of the things was his Mean Machine helmet from Longest Yard.
Oh man!
And there was like a one-day stretch where I was like, nobody knows about this auction. I'm going to make a run.
Get in.
Then it came out. Now it's like everything got jacked up. Yeah. But can you imagine being rich enough to buy the Smokey and the Bandit car?
What would you do with it?
What would you do with it?
Go to the garage.
Just put it in your driveway? Like, do you just have parties and invite people to sit in it?
But who does it click with? You know, the people that it would make sense that you'd be trying to impress are all old people.
Right.
Like, oh, look, it's a Smokey and a Bandit car.
Well, you came to visit.
Congratulations.
If you came over, you're in LA, if you came over to my house, I was like, hey, I'm going to tell you something. I bought the Smokey and the Bandit car. What would your reaction be?
Why?
But then you'd want to go for a ride at least.
I absolutely would.
Do you think they should have put in one athlete from that era like Bernard King? Just had him at one of the pool parties?
It would have been amazing because it's an easy transition to get an athlete from that era into something with.
He kind of has a thing with Roller Girl?
Sure, for sure.
Nowadays, Roller Girl would be on Twitter and 58 NBA players would be following her, but pretending they weren't DMing her when they came to town. What's up, Charlotte? What's up, Washington? All right, Joe House.
Yeah.
The Boogie Nights pod, we did it.
That was fun.
It was a real podcast, Jack.
It was a real podcast. Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Check out PTA Week on Grantland.com. A lot of good stuff there.
Target % off. Whoa.
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Podcenter at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.
Geico presents Strange Savings Stories. Astronomers detected an interstellar transmission. It stated, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. The implications were staggering. Was the cosmos telling us we could all save hundreds on car insurance with Geico? Or did their radar merely pick up a signal from the nearby Rufus and Clyde's morning show? We may never know.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.